This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the 2 qualifications at once.
We're delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme, providing global access to a prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's programme. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support, and depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
My name is Amina Adamu Alkali. I come from Nigeria and I studied MSc in Professional Accountancy. I previously did my ACCA. The University of London gave me exemptions from some of the courses. Studying online gives you the flexibility, but you also have to be disciplined enough to study on your own and do your assignments and finish up everything and meet up with deadlines. The support staff were really helpful, and they replied almost immediately, and everything was just quite easy to deal with. Currently, I work as a financial analyst for a construction company. So with this degree, I am hoping I would get a better place, a better position, higher pay. So it just builds up everything for me. I would love to work for an audit firm or one of the big 4 firms, just to push my career further and also do something I love at the same time. Having a University of London certificate is kind of a big deal, so I would do it over again if I had the opportunity.
Please, I can't hear anything from this group.
My name is Etido and I study professional accountancy. I'm from Nigeria. So I studied overseas. So the learning resources was overwhelming. Like I have not seen such before. I got a lot of assistance from the tutors that was assigned to us. So I think it was quite a nice experience learning through the university. Okay, my favorite subject, which was the project. I actually did a research project on one of the English League teams. I'm actually a football fan, so it was quite nice and interesting researching and seeing how we can increase the attendance in this first league club. So it was quite a nice one. The benefits of studying the course is I could now apply it to my work. All of the strategies and how to go into the market to make more. I'm actually aiming for the managerial level. I'm going for a managerial assessment in 2 months' time. So now I can confidently work in a team, I can share my ideas. So I'm quite excited because I'm moving ahead. I'm applying what I learned in my, here in the university, in my place of work. I think I would recommend for any family person because I'm a family person. I didn't have to leave my kids to do the program, and then I had a lot of assistance from the tutors. So I just like the easy way of doing things. You know, I don't have to be here to study. I didn't have to leave my work. I would always recommend the university.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first master's of its kind and is a result of a partnership between two renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for two prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the two qualifications at once.
We are delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to a prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's programme. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support, and depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
My name is Amina Adamu Alkali. I come from Nigeria and I studied MSc in Professional Accountancy. I previously did my ACCA. The University of London gave me exemptions from some of the courses. Studying online gives you the flexibility, but you also have to be disciplined enough to study on your own and do your assignments and finish up everything and meet up with deadlines. The support staff were really helpful, and they replied almost immediately, and everything was just quite easy to deal with. Currently, I work as a financial analyst for a construction company. So with this degree, I am hoping I would get a better place, a better position, higher pay, so it just builds up everything for me. I would love to work for an audit firm or one of the big 4 firms, just to push my career further and also do something I love at the same time. Having a University of London certificate is kind of a big deal, so I would do it over again if I had the opportunity.
My name is Etido and I study professional accountancy. I'm from Nigeria. So I studied overseas. So the learning resources was overwhelming. Like I have not seen such before. I got a lot of assistance from the tutors that was assigned to us. So I think it was quite a nice experience learning through the university. Okay, my favorite subject, which was the project. I actually did a research project on one of the English League teams. I'm actually a football fan, so it was quite nice and interesting researching and seeing how we can increase the attendance in this first league club. So it was quite a nice one. The benefits of studying the course is I could now apply it to my work. All of the strategies and how to go into the market to make more. I'm actually aiming for the managerial level. I'm going for a managerial assessment in 2 months' time. So now I can confidently work in a team, I can share my ideas. So I'm quite excited because I'm moving ahead. I'm applying what I learned in my, here in the university, in my place of work. I think I would recommend for any family person, because I'm a family person. I didn't have to leave my kids to do the program, and then I had a lot of assistance from the tutors. So I just like the easy way of doing things. You know, I don't have to be here to study. I didn't have to leave my work. I would always recommend the university.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first master's of its kind and is a result of a partnership between 2 renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for 2 prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the 2 qualifications at once.
We are delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to a prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's program. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support. And depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first master's of its kind and is a result of a partnership between 2 renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for 2 prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the 2 qualifications at once.
We are delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to our prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's program. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support. And depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
My name is Amina Adamu Alkali. I come from Nigeria and I studied MSc in Professional Accountancy. I previously did my ACCA. The University of London gave me exemptions from some of the courses. Studying online gives you the flexibility, but you also have to be disciplined enough to study on your own and do your assignments and finish up everything and meet up with deadlines. The support staff were really helpful. If they replied almost immediately, and everything was just quite easy to deal with. Currently, I work as a financial analyst for a construction company. So with this degree, I am hoping I would get a better place, a better position, higher pay. So it just builds up everything for me. I would love to work for an audit firm or one of the big 4 firms, just to push my career further and also do something I love at the same time. Having a University of London certificate is kind of a big deal, so I would do it over again if I had the opportunity. Having a University of
My name is Etido and I study professional accountancy. I'm from Nigeria. So I studied overseas. So the learning resources was overwhelming. Like I have not seen such before. I got a lot of assistance from the tutors that was assigned to us. So I think it was quite a nice experience learning through the university. Okay, my favorite subject, which was the project. I actually did a research project on one of the English League teams. I'm actually a football fan, so it was quite nice and interesting researching and seeing how we can increase the attendance in this first league club. So it was quite a nice one. The benefits of studying the course is I could now apply it to my work. All of the strategies and how to go into the market to make more. I'm actually aiming for the managerial level. I'm going for a managerial assessment in 2 months' time. So now I can confidently work in a team, I can share my ideas. So I'm quite excited because I'm moving ahead. I'm applying what I learned in my, here in the university, in my place of work. I think I would recommend for any family person because I'm a family person. I didn't have to leave my kids to do the program, and then I had a lot of assistance from the tutors. So I just like the easy way of doing things. You know, I don't have to be here to study. I didn't have to leave my work, I would always recommend the university.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first Masters of its kind and is a result of a partnership between two renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for two prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the two qualifications at once.
We're delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to a prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's programme. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support. And depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session. First, I'd like to apologize most sincerely for starting 30 minutes behind schedule. This is because we need to have more people, or we needed to have more people join the session. I'd like to thank you very specially for joining the session, for taking our time to join this very important session, just because you need more information about the University of London MSc Professional Accountancy. My name is Oludayo Oladojoye, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the New Synergy Specialist. And And today we have quite a number of very special dignitaries amongst us. Everyone here is quite special. And I may not be able to start calling everyone's names, but I'll just recognize and thank especially Professor Lindsay Chill. There's a ladies first. Professor, I hope you're not hungry. So, yeah. So we have Professor Lindsay Chill and Professor Alan Parkinson all the way from the United Kingdom. And we, on our way to the hotel last night, I think they had a bit of portal experience, and we were having some form of discussion on which portal is better. You know, the way Nigerian jollof rice became a viral story, London portal or Nigerian portal. But I mean, that was just on the lighter mood. So welcome to Nigeria. It's their first time in Nigeria actually, and that's to tell how important this visit is actually to them. I also have Dr. Abiodun Moritala here. He's the Accountant General of Lagos State. He's here physically with us, and he's also very interested in this program. And I have Mr. Tommy Sibo, who is the head of ACC in Nigeria, as well as Dr. Olushola Loya, who's the program coordinator of the program director of the MSc Professional Accountancy in Sub-Saharan Africa. On behalf of the entire TNSS, I'd like to say thank you for joining. Welcome, and we know that you're going to have a very good time. And Professor Lindsay Chill, Professor Alan Parkinson will do justice to the reason why you're here. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining. At this point, I'd like to just mention, a bit of ground rules for those housekeeping, for those who are in-house. Would kindly appreciate first if your phones can be on silence or turned off while you're here so that it doesn't interfere with the program. That's one. Two, again, the restroom, if you go out of this hall, to your left, you see the restrooms for both the ladies and the gents. And also in the event that we do not foresee that there will be an emergency, but in the event that there's an emergency, the muster point is you go straight down, turn right, and then everyone waits at the reception. So thank you so much. On that note, I'd like to welcome the Accountant General of Lagos State, Dr. Abiodun Moritala, for an opening remark. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, here in Nigeria, our partners from the University of London, the management of TNSS, ladies and gentlemen. I found this to be a very, very good program. We realize that every decision in life is about financing decision. Because at the end of the day, whether you want to construct a road, you want to do some development, it will still reduce to naira and kobo. And we then need to have a very good financial management process. And when I heard about this program, I realized that, look, this is a writing in the right direction. More so that we are in a turbulent world. We're experiencing a lot of volatility, not only in Nigeria economy, all over the world. We're experiencing a lot of uncertainty. We're experiencing complexity and ambiguity in everything we do. So to address this, we then need that special knowledge. We need that knowledge that will take us, that will give us that vision, that will give us the right understanding, that will give us that clarity and agility to do the right thing at the right time. And I believe that having this knowledge is like learning from best practices. And I want to congratulate all of you that this is the right thing. This is the right thing in the right direction. And I wish you the best. Thank you. God bless you all.
Please help me put a round of applause again for the Accountant General of Lagos State. My name is Tommy Sibo. I work at ACCA. Now, he's a very busy person, to be honest. And then he's also an ACCA student. So I get to call him an ACCA student, even though he's the Accountant General of Lagos State. Please help me. I have bragging rights that VIPs are ACCA students. So, and he has been an amazing advocate as well. A lot of the engagements and initiatives that we normally run, he's usually the first to come. And then, I saw him in a different light again today, jeans and canvas. And I mean, our public sector is ginger, Thanks, everyone. First, apologies to the online participants. It's usually not the culture of ACC and its partners to start events late, but I guess today is an exception, so please do forgive us. And then for those who are here physically, thank you. I knew you had some challenges parking as well, so apologies for that, and I know those could have been the reasons for some of the delays. Like the Accountant General have said, this is really around, it's a changing world, to be honest. The skills that were relevant yesterday are absolutely obsolete in today's work environment. So it's about reskilling and upskilling, and definitely having, learning that will keep on being relevant to career aspiration, and relevant, like the AG have said as well, to national capacity building. I was in a conference in Abuja on Tuesday, and it was a tax conference, and we're basically talking about how is Nigeria going to raise its revenue generating capacity so that the public financial systems can be improved upon, and we can have more latitude to be able to do what we need to do. And foundation of that, apologies, please can we close the door and maybe ask them to calm down a bit? So, and the foundation of that is, of course, what you know. You can't give what you don't have. And it's also very important that we have brand affinity. Brand affinity means your personal aspiration and working with the right partner, or getting the right qualification and the right institution is very important. Our journey with the University of London, and when I say ours, I mean ACCA journey with the University of London, started MSc program 5 years ago. Pardon? 7 years ago. 7 years ago. That was when we started that relationship. And it was basically around members' value, ensuring that our members have the right value and ensuring that we can support their employability aspiration as well. But last year, I believe, there was the opening up of the MSc to include other professional bodies. And I also know that this morning there are ICANN members here as well. And we're very, very happy that you're here. Because for us, in ACCA, it's also about developing the profession, and it's about partnerships. So we're happy that at the end of the day, the Nigerian professional knowledge is deepened, not just to achieve personal aspiration, but also to support economic development in the country as well. So on that note, we're welcome on behalf of, I can't welcome you on behalf of ICANN, I don't have such authority, but I'm welcoming you on behalf of the profession. Yeah, I have authority for that. So everyone here is welcome, ACC and ICANN, we welcome you. And then, I also like to say special welcome to Lindsay and Alan. I guess it's your first time in Nigeria. Please help me. We will make sure they taste jollof rice tonight on your behalf so that they will have a story to go back to London with. We also make sure that they go with adire or ankara so that, this is summertime in the UK, so they can have some African things to wear as well. But it's really amazing, and then I do hope that we'll meet what you have come for, and then it would be a worthwhile time for you. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Lindsay for your presentation, if you are ready. Fantastic. So please help me give a warm welcome. A Nigerian welcome. He has to go back with good stories, though. Lindsay, over to you.
Thank you very much, Tom. I wonder if there's another microphone that we can use as well. Thank you. Thank you. Alan, there you go. Is this for karaoke? Alan, yeah, I said to Alan that maybe we'll do a duet for karaoke to entertain our guests who are here today. Thank you so much for joining us. A really very warm welcome to you very much for being here. I was saying to Alan that I was super excited to actually meet people in the flesh, because we've had a tough time over the last couple of years. So it's been an absolute pleasure to meet the team and actually put physical to the names that we've had very many correspondence with. So I guess for us, we wanted to make sure that you had enough information about the program so that you could get a good insight into what you can really gain from this particular degree. And also I think the program is built so that you can ask us questions and ask the team questions, so that all your answers all your questions are hopefully answered. So just a really quick bit about me. So I'm an associate professor in University College London, UCL, and this program we work in partnership with University of London. So UCL is a member institution, so part of the London family, as with other member institutions. I've been at UCL so nearly 12 years, I think now. So in September I'll be there for 12 years. And my colleague Alan, maybe do a very quick intro to you, perhaps. Sure.
Hello. Yes, it works. Thank you, Lindsay. Alan Parkinson. I'm in UCL School of Management as well, and I've been working with Lindsay on this particular program, on many other programs for far too long. She said 12 years. It seems like 112. But she's going to hit me now. I'll move out the way.
I'll hit you later, Alan.
Yeah, and so we were involved in the design of the initial program, which has now been revamped. Everything, of course, needs to change after a period of time. As I said, I'm in UCL School of Management. There I'm Deputy Director on the Senior Management Team, looking after education within the School of Management. And I'm also Professor of Financial Education. So I guess I'm supposed to know about some of these things that we're talking about. Just so you give some confidence, if it is confidence, 1 million years ago, or so it seems, I trained as and qualified as an accountant, and I still am an accountant, and I worked in the world of accountancy, and then I moved into education. Accountancy, as you all know, here in the room and online, accountancy is exciting. Unfortunately, today we suffer from that image that people say, oh, accountancy, very, very boring, and we know it's not actually. Under the surface, it's interesting. It can be exciting, philosophically stimulating, but B, when I was working as an accountant 1 million years ago, it wasn't as exciting as it is today. That's why I moved into education, and I did further qualifications there. Before we get going, one thing I must say is that Lindsay introduced herself as Associate Professor in Accounting Education. Actually, it was announced, but it doesn't actually apply until the 1st of October. She's now actually a professor in accounting education at UCL, so thoroughly deserved. So, Lindsay, congratulations, and back to you.
Thank you, Alan. I think a lot of you might have already seen some of the structural side of the program. So I think we can probably focus more on what value you guys are going to get from this particular degree program, and especially partnering with the new synergy specialists, and what you can actually get from the local support here in Nigeria. Anna mentioned that the program was restructured. So even though we've worked with ACCA for 7 years now, that particular structure of that program has now changed. And our new structure launched in April 2022. And basically, you still get an MSc in professional accountancy, but as Tom mentioned, we've opened up so that ICANN members, as well as ACCA, CIMA, etc., a very long list actually of professional bodies from across the globe can, in fact, join the program and gain this particular degree. So this degree from University of London is worldwide, has worldwide recognition. It is very much valued with employers. As soon as you see University of London, University College London, UCL, I think employers from around the globe actually do very much already have a sense of the value, have a sense of the intellectual rigor and the academic quality that is produced from our graduates. So we are very proud to be part of that, which is why we've been working with TNSS, ACCA, ICANN, and people like your good selves here today, and of course online at the same time. So our program, new version of the program launched in April, and it now has a bit more flexibility, so you can actually join either in April every year or in October every year. So we now have 2 intakes, and sessions run throughout the year on a quarterly basis. So we have sessions in January, April, July and October. So they're sort of 10-week blocks. So a bit more manageable in terms of timing, because we're all very busy professionals. We have lives, we have personal lives. We like to enjoy ourselves at the same time. So this sort of fits in quite nicely, I think, with the way in which people are working and need to slot in their educational experience at the same time. One really, I think, beneficial draw that this program has is its flexibility. So you've got a 6-month period in terms of the minimum period that you could complete this program in. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you, but actually 6 months is a short time, but it is going to be a very challenging time. So in terms of academic rigor, we really put you through your paces. So you need to, I think, sort of decide for yourselves, actually, yes, this program is for you. However, can I fit that in with what I'm doing at work, with the demands of my career and the demands at home? So I think it's a very personal choice that you need to make with your eyes wide open. Alan and myself, we will definitely be able to say to you that it is possible. And Dr. Olushola also knows that it's very possible to complete in 6 months. However, it is a tough period of time, you know. So kind of deciding that for yourselves is something that sort of a big step. But we're there to support you. The average student sort of completes in about a year. So, you know, sort of a normal sort of process for an MSc, a master's qualification, but you have this added bonus that you could complete in a 6-month period. Yeah.
And Lindsay, it might be worth just adding as well, at the other end of the spectrum, the 5 years, to build in that flexibility. What we know is that life gets in the way, and we all start off with the best of intentions. I'll crash this in 6 months. No, crash is the wrong word, isn't it? I'll get through this in 6 months. And then, you know, something happens. I was thinking, when Lindsay and I were talking earlier, last year there were three students, all professional qualified accountants, who had, yeah, we're going to do it in 6 months. And each one of them became pregnant and had children. You know, they didn't complete it in 6 months, so they've taken their time. People get promoted. People change jobs. You know, we all know if somebody moves house, the trauma of just moving house, it just gets in the way. So having, I think, that flexibility is something that's really beneficial. And sometimes you do have some programs where you have to start and you get the period of time to finish. And that can sometimes just get in the way when life gets in the way. So it's the 6 months to the 5 years. I'd emphasize that.
Definitely. The sort of the other side to that, because the 6-month period can be very busy. I think we met an amazing accountant who in Dubai. She said to us that she didn't see her family or her children for about 6 months because she was focusing on her studies as well. So, I think it's, that very much a personal choice, but something that you are in control of, and something that we will definitely be able to support you with. In terms of the structure, I can say all of this to you, but I think, the fact that you're here today and the fact that you're joining us online means that you already see value in a program like this. So you're probably more interested in sort of asking us questions about what are the specifics that we can do to help you. But what I would stress as well is that, Dr. Muratala and Tom has emphasized how the uncertainty of the world is such that we must continue to learn. We must continue to improve ourselves. We must continue our ethic with our professional practice. In which case, part of Alan and my agenda in terms of what we love, our passion, is lifelong learning. And being in university education, that is everything that we hold dear and are very, very transparent and very sincere about, because without continuous learning, then we remain stagnant. We remain sort of complacent, we stay in our comfort zones, and it's very much about pushing out and making sure that we continue to improve ourselves so that we can contribute to the economy, so that we can contribute to a better infrastructure for the future generations and our current generations. So, having that emphasis, I think, is hugely important. And again, the fact that you're joining us here today means that you are also of like-mindedness. So we totally welcome you and very much value your time here today. So structurally, the change to the program hasn't changed too much. What's really nice about the partnership that we have with University of London is that for 180 credits, you get an MSc. However, your professional qualification from ACCA or ICANN or another body is actually recognized as equivalent to 120. So that means mathematically, we only need you to complete 60. So the 60 comes in the form of 3 modules. So 2 of those modules are 15 credits each. Those are optional modules, and I'll give you the choice from which they come. And then you have your 30 credit module, which is your final capstone piece. It's almost like the culmination of everything in terms of your career, but also your studies. And it really you get to show off in a very practical output what it is that you are about and what you've learnt along the way. So this is a very unique sort of structure that we have. Not a lot of degree programs have this structure, which is why actually you're able to complete in that condensed time, but you can also spread it out across up to 5 years as well. So these are the glorious modules that we have. So up here you've got the 4 choices to pick from. And Alan will talk to you a little bit more about those. But you only have to pick 2 of those modules, and then you have a compulsory capstone module here. So you've got global issues for the global issues in finance and accounting. GIFA, we love to use acronyms. So GIFA. We also have issues in investment management. So I think, as accounting and finance professionals, we sometimes have specialisms, and in which case our knowledge may not be quite as far-reaching. So why not improve that? So having a look at investment management, as well as capital markets, as well as global perspectives, and analysing risk for decision-making.
Thank you, Lindsay. And just without going into the detail at the moment, I think what we've tried to do here is cover all corners, because there are some student colleagues as professional accountants who want to find out about the detail of each of these, because they want to find out the detail because they feel that's really going to help them in their specialised area. But if I put you in the context of being professional accountants in your own area, everything is interconnected. Our accountancy arena, the accounting and finance function, we have other colleagues who are connected with those areas, even if we're not directly connected, and we hear people talking about things. Our organisations are located in an arena which are impacted by international global markets, global capital markets, for example. So it's not just about finding out about the detail of each of the modules, but also being aware that there are other things happening, so that then you can communicate with other people, you understand. Tom mentioned about decision making right at the start, being able to have a broader perspective to contribute to the decisions that you're required to be involved in.
So one thing I think a lot of people are interested in is assessments. How are you going to be assessed on the program itself? There is no exam, so you're done with the exams. That happened when you qualified. So for us, we have a bit more of a longer period of time for you to digest, for you to really ruminate, to do research, and then produce a piece that you can feel proud of. So we do this through coursework, so a little bit like a mini essay type of project. And we require you to produce a 3,000 word coursework for each of your option modules. And then for the final project, the capstone, it's actually 2 assessments, one which is a sort of 2,500 words coursework piece, and then a final 7,000 word big project, really hands-on, really practical consultancy piece that you can do with your workplace or a client, or, you know, kind of think about an entrepreneurial spirit and even start up your own business. So we're sort of flexible in terms of how we want you to engage with the materials and then bring it back to your own specific professional context. And I think that's really important. Rather than just learning about the theories, how does it actually apply to you at work? How does it apply to the current state of the world and all of the economies, not just here, but also abroad and overseas? And again, as Alan said, to be able to have those conversations, I think, makes you a rounded individual. And very much so, this is what we're kind of trying to achieve here.
And I just wonder, without going into the detail of the questions that are set in coursework, just look at the challenges that some of us face. Some of you may be directly impacted on a personal level, or your organisations, by the wonders of international financial reporting standards. What a way to start a Saturday morning, international financial reporting standards. You know, but what are the issues there? You know, for example, what's the difference between harmonisation, standardisation, and convergence? Why is it that it started a long time ago, that movement, but its fingers, its tentacles have moved around the world, but we still have remarkable differences. We understand that because of local laws, national laws, national culture. What happens if you're a multinational corporation? All of a sudden you're working with 15 companies around the world. How do we deal with the standards? I think there are just some really practical issues there, which also have a theoretical underpinning. Anybody here get involved in dividend decisions? I mean, that's just dividend. I mean, it's a nightmare. How do you decide what level of dividends? What style of dividends? Are we giving shares away? Are we actually paying cash? What are the expectations of shareholders? I think understanding those sorts of things. Some of you may be involved in portfolio theory, either directly or you're impacted by the decisions about portfolio theory. So I think getting insights into that. Many of us, of course, recognise, going back to what Tom said about financial decision making, the behavioural aspects. We're all different people. We all have different perspectives. We've been brought up, we've grown up, we've been educated perhaps in different ways. That will all impact upon our assessment of the pros, the cons of a particular decision. So I think looking at some of the behavioural aspects as well. To go back to the decision making, to continue with decision making once more. You see here we have, oh sorry, it was on the previous one I think, Lindsay, where is it? The one here, analysing risk for decision making. And the one thing we know is, you know, what's Lindsay said, an uncertain world. What's the term we use these days? VUCA. Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. We're moving from the good old days when everything was rational. Yeah, that's fine. You know, we just, yeah. Now we've been moving into complexity, and with complexity you get political, sometimes government, sometimes local, the politics of organisations, that will have an impact on our judgment and decision making. And there are those who would argue that perhaps we haven't just moved from rational planning to complex planning. Interesting question. Are we on the edge of chaos? And some of you will be familiar with the chaos strategy theory that's out there in management. You know, and that world is really difficult, and it's moving so quickly. And we have to make the right decisions, or what we hope are the right decisions, because we don't know until we look at afterwards what the outcomes have been. And we're in a competitive world. We're competitive within our own states, within our own countries, in a global context. So that need for decision making and having those understandings of other areas will all feed into that decision making. And that's what we've been trying to put across within the material, but also within the challenges we set you in the coursework. It's not just a matter of saying, oh, the coursework's due in tomorrow, I'll sit down at 9 p.m. tonight and I'll write 3,000 words. You know, there's work to be done. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we have enough time, or whether we need to. We have time? Okay. Yeah.
Well, midnight, isn't it? Did we say midnight we're here too?
You can bring the jollof rice over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alan, I think actually we started to talk about the modules. So, you obviously have 4 modules to choose from. You pick 2. They depend on, you also need to look at sort of the calendar of when the module runs throughout the year. So we have a different sort of pattern for different modules. But I think content is a key thing. So where Alan sort of mentioned some of the key areas where you will need to be thinking about how it relates to your context, I think maybe we should give an insight into some of the materials that we developed, but also
I'll do this one very quickly in the interest of time. Yes, so I've actually referred to 2 of the aspects there within the global issues. And by the way, we didn't just sit in our offices and say, "Oh, you know, that sounds good. Let's put that in." We went out and we spoke to accountants. We spoke to accountancy bodies who spoke to their members. You know, what are the things that accountants are interested in these days? Or even if they're not interested, they're aware that they're going to be impacting their jobs and their organisations. So there are 5 areas in global issues. In a sense, it's light touch but thought-provoking. So there's the international standards that I spoke about. What do we do about things like mergers and acquisitions? You know, global mergers and acquisitions. Interesting question. Why is it still that we have these merger and acquisition waves? Every 6 or 7 years, the world goes into merger M&A overdrive, and everybody is taking everybody else over. And what are the statistics? Between 60 and 90% of all mergers and acquisitions fail. So it all subsides. And then 6 or 7 years later, we're all at it again. And 60 to 90% of them fail, so it all subsides. And then you can see, I mean, just, you know, why is it? You know, be aware of those sorts of things. Something else which affects us as a backdrop, the Basel Accords. We saw what happened in the 2007-2008 crash and how it impacted the world over, and how there's now been more regulations about trying to strengthen financial institutions so that they will not go under. I don't think we can stop them going under. We might be able to mitigate the risk of them going under. But I think having insights to, well, what's the purpose of these Basel Accords? But of course, if banks go under, if financial institutions go under, what happens to us in our organisations? Yeah, there are challenges. I think having that as a perspective as well. Something else we've got in this one is digital developments, which I'm sure all of you, to a lesser or greater degree, have been impacted by digital developments. You know, even if it's at one end of the chain, I was about to say that, the blockchain technology for some organisations, but also many other things that are happening out there. So that was the global issues, and we got that directly from accountants saying, this is what's impacting upon our organisations. And even if it's not impacting today, we think it's going to impact tomorrow or next week. So let's be aware of it. And analysing risk for decision making, I gave an introduction to that. You don't have to, by the way, to be an Einstein mathematical genius to do this. It's really just saying, well, here are the tools, and there are some spreadsheets and all sorts of things to use. It's actually, what do we take into account when we analyse risk? And there's a lot of research that's been done which shows the poor decisions are because we either included the wrong things in making the decision when we analyse things, or not only do we include the wrong things, we miss things out completely. So it's also making us aware of what are the sorts of things that would go into the range of financial decisions that we're connected with. And then I think, issues in investment management, bonds, mutual funds, some of you will be directly involved with that. Others will be working with colleagues who are directly involved. Others will be in organisations where you're impacted by what goes on in that world of investment management. So whether it's for your own particular specific purposes, personal purposes, or to be aware of what's going on, that would be useful. And again, I mentioned this before, global capital markets and global perspectives. If I asked you, don't worry, I'm not going to you. Somebody somebody tell me, derivatives, what are they all about? We all talk about them. Oh, derivatives. And we all talk about hedge funds. And we always these lovely terms, don't we? And we keep the face when somebody says, what's it about? You say, I'll let my colleague answer. Because we know vaguely what they mean, but they impact upon us. And even if we're not doing it, it may be that our organisation is doing it, or something that's happening elsewhere is impacting us on that. Lindsay.
And then you've got your final capstone project. This is, I mentioned earlier, the professional sort of output that you can actually give to your employer. So some people may be asking their employer for support, whether that's time off or whether that's a little bit of financial support. And actually what you can do is use your organisation as the context through which you can use a scenario. So that means using them to see what their current strategic or business challenges are, and actually put what you know as a professional and what you know and what you've learnt to the test, and kind of produce a guided solution for them over the next 5-year period. So the capstone project is kind of geared towards introducing you to research methodology from an academic but also very practical standpoint, so that you can actually conduct a piece of research but business focused or organisationally focused, and then produce that tangible report for your boss, for your line manager, for your team to use and perhaps actually implement and change things for the better. This major project piece, capstone, which is why we call it capstone, is sort of split into two 10-week blocks. That's why it's double weighted, so it's a little more meatier, a bit more hefty than the others, which are just 10 weeks and 15 credits. So we take you through research methods in the first half, and then in the second half we start thinking about that final project, but also enter into a business simulation activity where you actually get to put to the test your skills as a leader, as a team player, as a potential chief finance officer, potential CEO. If you're that already, then why not put your skills to the test in this particular environment? So the Icarus activity is fun, but it's also a very different style of learning. So one thing that we wanted to also bring into this particular programs of study is the idea that the action learning style, what you do on the job, is action learning. So everything that you sort of pick up from textbooks, from articles, is one type of learning. However, there's nothing more valuable than actually being in a room or being in a situation, and that situation changing very rapidly, but you are still learning constantly and adapting. So how are you making those choices? How are you making informed choices under pressurized situations, and then hopefully getting an outcome that is better in terms of shareholder value? So the activity is sort of meant to simulate that in a very safe environment. And we've used this simulation actually not just for our program, but also for executive education and for MBA classes as well. So this is an activity that is well loved. It won a national award, I think, a few years ago in the UK, and is something that we very much enjoy running with people like you who are so open-minded and just want to be like a sponge and soak everything up. So as long as you open your arms and open your eyes and open your brains to that experience, you're going to get so much out from this. I think our alumni actually always quote the Icarus activity as being one of the most memorable experiences. They made friends, they made colleagues through the team activity, and they are still in touch with them today. And I think they probably have that as a kind of a sort of a joining piece for not just the torture that we put them through, Alan, for the rest of the program, but actually the fun part as well. So who said that learning could be fun? Right?
Oh, what outrageous. How could you have students enjoying themselves?
Exactly.
This is whatever next, the world is changing in the wrong way, clearly. And Lindsay's absolutely right when she says, I mean, I was just looking here, University of London each year publishes, be it online or in paper, a report. It looks back, it listens to what students says from all of the programs that it offers. And it was the second year that we'd been running this. It came through, so I was having a look at it, and I of course was interested in MPAC, the MSc in Professional Accountancy. And as I was reading through some of the quotes from the students, they asked them, what do you remember most about your studies? And after a few pages, there was a pattern that was emerging. So I read further, and I did a count. And 60%, in fact just over 60%, of the comments from the students all said Icarus. That's what we're taking away from, is because it brings everything together. We're meeting other people. It's helping us to, how could I phrase it in educational terms? Making sense of meaning. It helps us to make sense of the meaning. It's great to see things in theory, but we're actually applying it here. And Icarus is actually trying to turn around a failing airport. And you've got big decisions to make. Are we going to have another runway? Are we going to build hotels? What do we do about our concessions? Are we going to be a budget airport? Or are we going to be a luxury airport? The sort of things airport that Tom and Lindsay use all the time. I'm more of a budget guy. You can understand that, yeah? Do you want car parks? And of course, if you think about what's happening around the world now, some airports are saying we don't want cars because there's the green initiative, and so we want rail links. There are all sorts of interesting things that go on, and you have to throw it all into the mix and see, can we actually turn this airport round? So it goes down well. And the final bit, if I could just go back here, Lindsay, if I may. Yeah, Lindsay said about the academic research methodology. Let's remove the word academic just for the moment. Just ways of being able to collect all sorts of interesting data, synthesize it, analyze it, and then say, well, that now tells us something about the project that we're looking at. So if you go to your boss or you go to a client and you've done some research for them, and here's what we're proposing to you or suggesting, how do we know that's true? What about if somebody says, thank you for that, that's really interesting. Where's your evidence? Where did you get the evidence from? Why did you include that evidence and not include other evidence? How did you analyze it? How did you synthesize it? And although it sounds academic, and if you think about a traditional academic dissertation, that would apply there certainly, but we're putting it in the context of creating something that's meaningful as a project for your purposes, possibly your own organization's purposes as well.
Thanks, Alan. And then obviously the modes of studying. So whether you're online or here with us in the room today, there's a couple of options actually. So there is the web supported, but actually there's also our great partnership with the new Synergy specialists, TNSS, and they'll give you what they can offer you in terms of the local support. And I would say to you that actually, again, a very personal decision in terms of your learning style and your preference, So over the last couple of years, everything has been online, right? And I know from personal experience, as well as from colleagues, there's that missing piece, that craving to be in a classroom, to be with teachers, with that knowledge, to have that live interaction and discussion, that really rich environment through which you can learn far more than you can from just reading articles and books, you know. And having that availability here in Nigeria and Lagos for TNSS, then, you know, I think that is an opportunity for you to see the value that this particular institution can provide for you in the local capacity. But again, it is a very personal choice, you know. If online is your thing, then online is available. But if you do need some of that local support, then TNSS are your people to very much go to. So from our perspective, you know, whether you join us just as an online student or in fact be locally supported, you know, the experiences are different. And, you know, I think Dr. Aleshala will give you an insight into why it's different. But everything else is sort of the same in terms of what you would get access to, materials, videos. I think you've seen me and Alan a fair few times, but also our other colleagues from UCL who have spent time and effort to develop these materials in light of, as we said before, what it is that accounting and finance professionals in today's context really need to know about. So we've been very mindful in terms of how we develop the materials to that end.
And just before we finish, so I know we're time to allow for TNSS. Again, it's a global qualification. And if you look at the people who have prepared the material, what's really quite interesting is they're not just what's sometimes referred to as academics in an ivory tower, people who, they went to university, they did their degree, they did a master's, they then did a full-time PhD, and they've been sitting in universities all their life. I don't think that happens so much these days because people have much more experiences. But these materials have been prepared by people with an interesting combination of academic qualifications and some of them professional accountancy qualifications, but actually they've all been working and they continue to work in a consultancy capacity with real-world organisations, so I think that helps. Also, it's global. The nearest I get to being global is if I get on an aeroplane. I'm British, but I do have Irish ancestry. My mother and grandfather from Ireland. Lindsay, you have an ancestry?
Yeah, so my family is Malaysian Chinese.
And then we've got, I'm thinking who's contributed, Magda.
Magda's from Brazil.
Brazil.
Yep.
Michael?
Michael is Canadian Filipino.
Yeah. And then we've got Layla.
Layla is Spanish.
Spanish, but she spent a lot of her time working in capital markets in Miami, dealing with Central and Latin America. So again, it's not just people saying, "Oh, we sit in our offices and this sounds good. We'll type that in and people will learn that." You know, there's a whole blend of experiences from around the world there. We've got lots of colleagues who are truly international in both their work experiences and their national identities.
I think actually I could probably hand over to Dr. Olusola. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining this session, and I'm sure it's been very interesting. Our special guests, thanks Lindsay and Alan, and I would like to really appreciate our strategic partner, ACCA, and now that we're also having ICANN coming on board, it's been a very interesting journey for TNSS. TNSS, we are very passionate about capacity building, not only in Nigeria but across Africa. And we are doing quite a lot, to bring in quite a lot of collaboration. And through our strategic partnership with ACCA was what afforded us the opportunity in 2018 to be an accredited teaching center with University of London. And it's been so interesting so far. The journey so far, starting from 2018 for us, when we started with about 2 students, and today we've grown those students to more than 22. We've got more than 40, students graduated from by our mentoring from University of London with their MSc in professional accountancy. We moved further in 2021 and we got an accreditation for MSc in data science. We offer a unique value proposition as TNSS, just like the Accountant General mentioned earlier, and Tom also, alluded to that. And with what you have also heard about MPAC, there's volatility, there's high level of uncertainty. And if you look at the world we found ourselves today, everything keeps changing. So how do we respond very quickly to this? How do we make sure we remain relevant? How do we become that leader for the future? We need to embrace program of this nature that will assist us to be able to keep, being relevant and be able to change our world. And so if you look at our value proposition as TNSS, we provide you face-to-face support, and you can reach us. Our mentors are available to every of the students. They guide you along the line, and then you are able to do well in most of those 15 credits, 30 credits you are looking for, from University of London. And just like Lindsay said, we don't need to sugarcoat it. Sometimes it might take you 1 year to actually really, really, be able to grab it. For those who decide to do 6 months, I tell you, you have to leave almost everything and just focus on University of London alone. So please, when you are taking the option, think of, your time, your work, the family at the same time when taking the decision whether to go on 6 months or to go on 1 year. A lot has been said already. She has told all my presentation already. So thank you very much, Lindsay, for helping me out with that. So please, we would like to take questions and answers. If you have any form of comment, it's a good time to do that.
I'd just like to add to what Shola has said as well. So think of family, think of work, and think of exchange rate as well. Because it's a VUCA exchange rate.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thanks everyone, and I'm sure we have quite a lot of representative here from from KPMG. We have quite a lot of our partners on ACCA and also being present, and those online. Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay.
To Shola, to
Lindsay.
Do we need a microphone at the back?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
My name is Owolabi Hamid. Thank you very much for the presentation. It's more or less like trying to seek a clarification. The first one is why MSc professional, and what's the difference between it and academic MSc?
Okay, I think I'll defer that to Lindsay and Alan. Okay.
Thank you so much. So the question was for those online who maybe not heard it, the difference between an MA and an MSc, was that? Yeah.
Yes, MSc professional and academic MSc. Why not just MSc accountancy?
Oh, I see. Professional accountancy. Sorry, I misunderstood the question initially. MSc in professional accountancy as opposed to accountancy. You could argue that with your professional qualifications, you've done the accountancy. You've got all the basics and more. Professional accountancy, it's now that people are out there working within the profession. What are the things that we need to know about to build upon our initial qualification in the context of what's happening out there in the world today and what may be happening tomorrow and next week and next month? So again, what's in a title? How do you arrive at a title? But we certainly did want to differentiate it from an MSc accountancy where you learn more of the fundamentals and put it in the context of this is for people who are qualified and are already working in the profession.
Okay. Well, further to that, then for people that are interested in maybe academic career program, maybe like going to a PhD level, can you use this for that?
I'll give you, as we're all accountants here, you will appreciate the answer I'm going to give you now, because we as accountants always give this answer. The answer is yes and the answer is no. It all depends. So with a PhD, I think one of the things that I would say to all colleagues is any masters I think particularly this one, will give you the required entry level to get into a doctorate. I think one of the challenges is, as people who are perhaps not connected with education, we think, oh, a PhD, yeah, I'll go and register for a PhD. What's really quite interesting is with universities, you have to find a supervisor who's interested in what you want to do. So again, the answer is yes, it sets you up for that, but then you have to make those contacts with a whole range of universities to see, is there somebody there who A, is interested in what you want to do as a doctorate, and B, actually do they have time? I'm just thinking about UCL School of Management, where we have doctoral supervisors, not so much in accountancy and finance, but in all sorts of wonderful management-related areas. The really good ones, and there are many of them, they're in demand. And they turn down lots of people each year because they say we can only supervise so many people at a time. So you can say, oh, I say the answer is yes, the answer is no. I think it's what comes afterwards in terms of trying to make contact with universities. Now, University of London, at this stage in the accounting and finance arena, University of London is not offering doctoral studies, although I do know there are, how can I phrase it without making any commitments, there are ongoing discussions at this moment in time. Is that enough of an answer for you?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and
Okay, I would just add that we have had students who've completed the program and have gone on to do a PhD. So it sort of depends, as Alan said, on the institution, the type of doctoral studies that you want to do. But we have had students who, the fact that they have an MSc on their profile says a lot. And then it's just the requirements from that institution. They may ask you to do another master's in research as the foundation, which is even more in depth than what we do on our program, and then that sets you up for your thesis thereafter.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. And one other thing, PhD, people talk about PhDs. Another one which has been growing in popularity over recent years is a DBA, a Doctorate in Business Administration. And one of our eminent colleagues in the UCL School of Management, who does a huge amount of stuff and is always talking to The Economist and Reuters about mergers and acquisitions. He did his DBA, but he focused on mergers and acquisitions and actually debunked one of the classic theories that held for many years. So there are other opportunities rather than the classical PhD.
Thank you very much. There's also a local opportunity beyond just, taking your PhD abroad. We have collaborations with Babcock University in Nigeria that is ready to take on the MSc in Professional Accountancy for you to proceed with your PhD.
All right. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Another question is this. This is a program that is based on modules, and I've seen 4 there. I want to ask, outside the 2 mandatory modules that one has to take, is there an option to take maybe the 3rd as an elective?
Okay.
So we have actually got the opportunity for standalone modules to be studied. So if, let's say, you don't want to right now sign up for the whole MSc, you can take, if it's available, I think you need to check University of London website. There are modules that you can study as standalone and then continue on again. Or do your 2 as the part of the program and then take another because you want to. Because it interests you, yeah.
Okay. Now, on the tenure of the program, minimum is 6 months. I consider myself as an average student, so I'm going for 1 year. And I want to know, outside 1 year, let's say I choose 1 year and I extend beyond 1 year, what is the cost implication?
Okay, since it's modular based, you just pay for an additional, 6 months for you to be able to extend. You can start with a 6-month arrangement, you can end up with a 12-month, and you can decide to say, oh, I want to extend it to 18 months. So it means you need to pay for an additional period. Yeah.
Okay, and whatever the cost is, having it purely online or doing it through TNSS does not change the cost.
Okay, now there's different costs if you are doing it online, and there's a different cost if you're going to be having a web support. You are going to be having a teaching center support. So there's a mentoring fee that comes with it.
So how do we get the details of those?
All are in the prospectus. There's a prospectus that is provided in the bags for everybody. Thank you very much for your questions. Yeah.
Just while we're waiting for other colleagues to ask questions, what's interesting is you said about is it possible to do more afterwards? And many years ago, not quite the million years ago I referred to earlier on, but probably 10,000 years ago, one university I worked at was the Open University in the UK, and I was at the Open University Business School, and we used to have some face-to-face tutorials as well. And we'd go to the first face-to-face tutorial, and we had a little exercise, and it was called Hopes and Fears. What do you want to get out of studying? This happened to be a module called Accounting for Managers. What do you want to get out of the module? So people would get in their groups and their hopes, just perhaps broader educational understanding, being able to contribute to financial decisions at work. But the fears, we would say, well, what are the fears? And they'd all get together and everybody would come up with time. I really don't know how I'm going to fit this into my busy life. Many of them had families, all sorts of caring responsibilities for relatives. Every time it finished, you'd get people coming back saying, is there anything else I can do? Because I've got time on my hands now. Because you carve out that time for studying. The studying finishes and, oh, what do I do next? Last week we had the pleasure of attending 3 graduation ceremonies for University of London, including MSc Professional Accountancy, which by the way, on each of the 3 we attended had the greatest number of students, so we were all giving lots of cheers for that. But after the event, at the receptions, talking to people, guess what people were saying? I don't know what I'm doing with my time now, because I've got spare time. Yet when they were coming in, I won't be able to do it, it's just going to be so busy. We find time in our lives for the important things. We always do, yeah.
I think we have quite a lot of questions also online, so that we can balance it so that online,
Okay, thank you. I think the first question has already been addressed, which is speaking about MSc being valid for PhD purpose.
Okay.
But the second question here was if there are learning centers in London as well.
Okay. There are learning centers.
There is an institution called First Intuition. So similar to TNSS, but there are also Singapore, etc. So I think locally at the moment, TNSS here is the only one that we have worked with and verified and support. In London, First Intuition is also available, but I believe you'd have to go to London to study. So obviously there are implications for that in terms of cost, so cost of living. One of the beautiful things about a program like this is that you still are able to get and obtain a University of London degree, worldwide recognition, but there is the fact that you didn't have to move all the way to London, have the cost of living, and then probably debt thereafter to then have to pay off subsequently. So I think our partnership with University of London is about accessibility of education. So bringing that to people who otherwise would not be able to afford to go to London. It's so expensive to live in London these days. So that's part of our sort of passion for bringing education to a wider audience worldwide. Hope that answers that question.
So we have some people in the room.
Thank you. Please, one thing I want to explain better is you said flexible payments option. So can you throw more light on it? Because I've not seen that part being addressed.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, for that. We're going to display and then we'll also show you how you go about the flexibility in the payment option. Okay, who else in the room? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Alan and Lindsay, and good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm an alumni of this program.
Great.
I was on the I was on the first set in July 2016, and I finished my program in 2017. Yeah, it's difficult and time-consuming, especially if you have to go to work. Yes. So my question will be on an issue of academic reference. I remember contacting both of you on several occasions, requesting for academic reference. I don't know if that issue has been sorted out. Then that should be 2018. 2018, I asked for academic reference, and I couldn't get it. Both of you, I sent, yes. You in particular, you gave me a response, and I also got a response from Alan, and I couldn't get academic reference because I needed it to further my education at that time. So I don't know if now this new set of people can get academic reference.
Well, first of all, apologies for that. Normally, I think both of us, as with all of our colleagues, are very... because we have given lots of academic references to MPAC students. So my sincere apologies. I really don't know what's happened there. We'll let's talk afterwards, and we can. Apologies for. It does seem strange that two of us are missing. I'm useless. I'm terrible. But Lindsay is really efficient. But so we'll have a look at that. But if that's the case, the sincere apologies. We have given lots of references, so I'm not sure how that slipped through the net. So apologies.
No problem. Thank you. Then the next question is the issue of PhD. I'm happy you mentioned a local university, but I would also like such arrangement with a foreign university. For example, UCL or University of London or any other foreign university. We should have options. Now we're strictly tied to Babcock University.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure you know that I think Alan made reference to something like that when it comes to this collaboration and partnership. It's something that we are working on, not only Babcock. We are currently in conversation with Covenant University. We're trying to do something with Now University in Abuja. We are also talking, we've even made an effort prior to COVID to have a collaboration with a school in Dubai. We've actually, gone far with conversations already, but COVID slowed down things a little bit. But you can be rest assured within the next few months, we will be communicating to you on our new collaborations with other institutions outside Nigeria. There's also a new one we kicked off about early July with a school in South Africa to be able to support us with the help of our strategic partner, ACCA. They keep taking us everywhere, all over the world. Okay, thank you. Any other? Yeah, I wanted to show our pass rate. Okay, our pass rate has been 100%. We experienced, we deserve a round of applause, yeah. The only time we have less than 100%, we had a 90%, and then we moved back to 95. And in the last two sessions, it's been 100% back. Okay? So you need that mentoring support. I must tell you, the first few months, you were like, how am I going to go about it? So you really, really need a local mentor to be able to assist you. We have quite a lot of, students who have, passed through TNSS. We have some of them online, but we have one particular one here present. Immediately after the question and answer session, she will give you a testimonial about the program. Okay? Another question, please. Yes. Okay. Oh, you can see the journey so far and what the pass rate looks like. Okay.
Okay. I don't know if I can ask my question.
please feel free and
Okay,
then put the
thank
price
you. So,
back.
I don't know, it's like, is ICANN, because with the way I'm seeing things, I believe, these are opportunity that ICANN students would really love, but are you really in collaboration, or is just because once somebody is a chartered accountant, an ICANN member, then he can go ahead? Is there any partnership with ICANN per se, or is just the fact that, because I expect to see more people from ICANN, but I don't know.
Okay,
So,
a lot of those people from ICANN are actually online. And, just like you asked, we have a strategic partnership with ACCA. It's long relationship. We've been together for more than a decade now. And then attaining the level of a strategic partner with ACCA is really, really a major milestone for us. And we are mindful of those relationships, and we are also working towards having the similar relationship with ICANN. This opportunity just opened up for ICANN also from University of London just some few months back, and we're doing a lot with the leadership of ICANN to also have a similar collaboration. But the response has been very good from a lot of ICANN members who wants to be part of this program. So we're looking forward in the October set to have quite a lot of ICANN members come on board. Okay. So that's the price. And now, about the option, now there's, before September 16, there's a particular date. You need to have completed your payment so that we can make remittance to University of London. So when we talk about flexible payment, you can start making your payment now from today. But before September 16, you need to have complete the payment. You can make it 2 installments, you can make it 3 installments. So the earlier you start, the better. Not that you need to bring everything at once in a lump sum. So TNSS will make sure that by that September 16, you're able to. Okay.
Is it possible to make the dollar-related fees issues be concerned around the exchange rates that is driving?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So that option is also available. We can give you the pounds option to be able to pay.
No, I'm saying that the fees that are to be payable to University of London,
Yes.
that those should be prioritized.
Yes. Definitely.
Because the timeline is actually
Very short. Definitely. That's the way we have structured it. You need to make that payment, the one that we have to remit to University of London first, and then the other ones can come. Okay. Any other question? Yes, you can discuss that, Okay.
Thank you very much for this session. Quite insightful. Okay, I just want to make inquiry on your capstone modality. I've once attended a program, and I know how intensive capsule session was. And I don't know if yours is going to be virtual or full. Maybe it's going to be an hybrid. The program I attended, I observed that the capstone was actually made compulsory to be face-to-face, so that if you are trying to work on a budget, we also put that into consideration. And that must confess that program was very intensive when it comes to dissertation and then meeting your share to decide on how you are going to go about your work and everything. So I don't know how that works. And you also said something about Icarius, I think. Icarius. So can you share more light on that? Maybe throw more light on modality for that. Thank you.
I can start with the Icarus business simulation. This is a team-based activity. So you work in teams of 5. We usually try to group you according to time zone, so it's easier to liaise. If you're a locally supported, then you'll be in the team with your classmates. And you basically take on the role of the C-suite board, so CEO, CFO, commercial director, HR director, operations director. And you have the scenario where you are given the financials as well as the current stakeholder analysis or stakeholders to engage with to find out what is the main problem areas. And you have to come up as a team, come up with the strategic change. So how are you going to implement a plan over the next 5 years, which we play as 5 weeks, so every week is a year. And you get together, you discuss, you use an app that we have built where you put in your forecasts. It then works with the algorithm to produce the financial results according to your plans. But then once you're happy with what you believe to be a good set of plans, good set of financials, you submit, and then what the app will do is then put it into action and then produce the actual results of your strategic plan. So sometimes, most of the time actually, you will not, unfortunately, achieve what you set out or believed that you were going to. Otherwise, we would all be millionaires, right? Because we can't predict the future. So the economic environment, the way in which your workforce has responded to your plans, your HR plans, for example, the funding that you have taken on external debt, the cost of that, how that's actually impacted your financials, a whole variety of all of the various different variables from your financial decisions are given back to you as your results. And then your task as a team is to analyze, is to try and find out what went wrong, what worked really well, and then how do we move forward from that. So it's a very iterative process. So we do it 5 times, not so that you can get better, but to actually just simulate, what is this going to be like in real life? How can we learn from our mistakes, but also take forward the good practices that we've put in, and also appreciate the interrelationships with so many different functions, which is why we have those 5 members of the board, for you to be able to debate, for you to be able to see different perspectives, and to appreciate the challenges that each function is actually taking on, and yet you're all trying to push the organization in the same direction. So one thing that's really nice about this simulation is that you have global teams. So we often play with, we've had like 100 teams, 150 teams. So large cohorts, and every single one starts at the exact same starting point, like a race. However, the strategic choices that they take are so different. As Alan mentioned before, are they going to go for a budget airline? Are they champagne, like Tom and LaShayla? Do they want to go for luxury, world-class airports? So there are so many different choices that you can make, and yet you all have the same KPI targets to hit. How you get there, so many different ways. There's no wrong answer, but there's no one correct answer, which is like life, right? So that's one of the beautiful things about the simulation, is that, it's that iterative, that team working, that learning to communicate, to put forward your business case as to why my strategy is better than your strategy, and so on and so forth. And how do we get together to actually make sure that we converge for the good of the organization, as opposed to our own personal agenda, our own interests, etc.
Just to follow up there, a few moments ago when I was standing up, I mentioned, when I was saying about rational planning, going into complexity and chaos, I mentioned about politics, and I said organizational politics. And of course, you've got five vice presidents, 5 directors. In the first round, everybody is arguing their own case. Yeah, nobody's interested in the organization. They just want to put their case forward. But next week, you change. And you can no longer really advocate in the same way as you did the week before, because you're now representing a different function. And in the 3rd week, you change. And so that I think really, as Lindsay says, starts to give you insights into, we're all together in it. Everybody's in it together. And we may have our vested interests, but actually the whole idea is to take the organisation forward. And what we're doing here is, as Lindsay said, we're trying to mirror real life. We set our budgets. We think we're going to be the most profitable airport the world has ever seen. We're going to be the most cash-rich airport the world has ever seen. We're going to have the happiest customers the world has ever seen. The most motivated staff the world has ever seen. We put those figures in. As what happens in the real world, it gets run against a real-world model that you don't see, and you end up the biggest loss-making airport the world has ever seen. You've exceeded your overdraft. Your staff hate you. The customers no longer want to be with you. And as in the real world, you say, well, why didn't it work out the way we thought it was going to? And you look at the relationships and trying to work out what are the influences, and then you have another go next time round. And what's also interesting, say there were 100 teams in a presentation. You know, everybody wants to be number one. I would argue, you know, put that to one side. What about if you're a team which in terms of the KPIs after week 1 is number 10, and then you rise to number 8, and then you rise to number 7, and let's say you finish at number 6. That's great, isn't it? But what about the team that starts at number 100, and then goes to 60, and then goes to 40, and then goes to 30, and then goes to 12? Isn't that also representative of incremental learning? And I think sometimes we let the competition, it's fun to have competition, of course it is, but we don't want to let that take hold over absolutely everything. But it's fun. And as Lindsay said, it won an award. It won the UK National Learning Technologies Gold Award for the best learning simulation back in, I think it was 2018. Lindsay mentioned about Champagne. Lindsay was in Australia when they had the awards ceremony in London. I had to go and represent, and so I send her pictures of in Australia of we were celebrating.
I can't remember your initial question about capstone hybrid. I think.
Okay, so most of it is a blended version. We have some face-to-face. The way we even structured it is that you have roughly about 60% will be Zoom driven, while the remaining 40% will be face-to-face. Yeah, and all our sessions are live, so those who are not even in class face-to-face can have a feel of what is going on within the class. So it's a live session, an hybrid kind of platform that so those at home can see those who are actually in the class face to face. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so there's a question here online, and the question says, "What are the learning centers in Lagos?" There's another one that says, "Are there any learning centers in Abuja?" So
okay. Okay, I think TNSS is exclusively the only accredited teaching center in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. We've held this accreditation from 2018 till date. We've not missed any particular set, be it the June and December. We've consistently been taking or teaching the MSc Professional Accountancy. And just like we showed earlier, our pass rate and level of performance. Thank you.
All right, another comment, I'm not sure this is a question, spoke about the clarification on the mutual agreement with ICANN not, being specifically addressed.
Mutual agreement, okay.
Yeah, so in terms of ICANN here in Nigeria, if I just broaden that out, initially when MPAC was first launched, the arrangement was exclusive with ACCA. And what was happening, I think through word of mouth, where people were saying, you know what, this product, this program is actually not bad. In fact, it's quite good. University of London was receiving lots of communications and contacts from people in ICANN, in CIMA, in CPA Australia, in AICPA, all sorts of professional bodies around the world. And it just, I wasn't privy to the University of London decision making because we're not part of their decision making process as such. But certainly I could see what might go through their minds in terms of broadening, widening access for educational opportunities to people all around the globe. I can see them saying it makes sense to open this up, and that arrangement was to allow colleagues who have professional qualifications from bodies other than the ACCA to enter into the opportunity for the programme. So I hope that gives a driver for it.
Sorry, before we take the question in-house, there's another question online, and this person wants to know, apart from the batch in October, when is the next batch coming in? Or is it just every October, every year?
Okay. It's October and April. October and April.
Yes, I wanted to find out the time for the online lecture. Is it a specific time of the day, or how many days in a week, or is it any frequency, or is it flexible?
Okay, it's actually very flexible. We have most of our lectures or mentoring session on weekends, mostly on weekends, Saturday in the morning, and then when it gets to the point where we start dealing with project and some other activities, we normally will introduce evening, programs, just to meet up. When you might also have your one-on-one with your mentor, during the week, not necessarily on weekend, because you'll be assigned to a particular mentor, which you can always reach out to, be it via WhatsApp and every other medium, to be able to give you online real-time support at all times. So it's not restricted to just weekend only, but most of our structured classes are on weekends. Now you're going to have access to the University of London portal immediately you have your registration. So that is given 100%. It's different. This is just to aid or support. Yeah, that one is 24/7. You can always, go on that platform at any time.
Okay, so there's a question here, not particularly for the professors, for the doctor in-house. This is Dr. Oloye. He says there isn't a lot of information about the MSc Data Science program in the brochure. Okay. For instance, I did not see any information on the costs.
Okay. The costing for the MSc Data Science, just like you see the module are structured. We've worked on the MSc Professional Accountancy for the last 4 years, so we've been able to work around the structuring on that. Just give us a bit of time for us to conclude with the University of London with that, and then we'll get back to you. We don't have that information fully ready now.
Okay, so any other questions in-house?
Okay. I think we can still be getting more questions online while we move on to other parts of the program.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we should move to... Okay.
All right, thank you. So please, can you be specific on how much is required to be paid on or before September 16, or is it the entire 4.4 for 6 months, or 4.9 or 12 months that is required to be paid before September 16?
Okay. So, So for financial planning purpose, you need to pay at least minimum of about 3 million out of that money. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. other question?
Whilst we're waiting for other questions, going back to this idea of lifelong learning that Lindsay was referring to earlier and how we fit things in, I mentioned with our colleague who we'll be talking to afterwards about the emails that we have a survivor, somebody who survived that very first presentation of MPAC. If you look at me, try not to look at the face, you might cry, but I do. Imagine every morning I have a shave. I have to look in the mirror just after I've got out of bed. Can you imagine what that's like? You're also looking at a survivor here, not of MPAC, but unlike many academics, I didn't go to university in the conventional sense. I went straight in and started training as an accountant, so did that on a part-time basis. When I moved into education, I did a teaching and learning certificate on a part-time basis while working. Then, of course, they said to me, Alan, your professional accountancy qualification is great, but you need to do a little bit more sort of academic stuff. So I did a master's part-time whilst working. Then, of course, the pressure came and they said, Alan, you really need to get a doctorate. So I did a doctorate. I did mine in education, accounting education, with four young children growing up. The only driver in the household. It brought its challenges as well, and I survived. And I think one of the stories from MPAC that we've got is not dissimilar to that. We've got people who just have really busy lives at work. They have busy lives domestically, and as with our colleague here, yeah, they're survivors, and I would like to think the better for it as well. One of the other things that we've got back from some employers as well is not just the value of what people are looking at and the way it can contribute to work. We've had employers say to us, apart from anything else, it tells us something about the individual. Somebody who can take on something that's challenging in that busy working life, in that busy domestic life, and come out of the tunnel at the other end waving the piece of paper saying, I've graduated. And I think that speaks volumes for the tenacity and the endeavour and the work ethic, and also your self-organisational skills to be able to just fit. Mind you, what's the other saying they say? If you want something done, you give it to a busy person. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah, we do. We find time in our lives, challenging though it is. I thought I'd hold the fort there with an inspirational statement while we're waiting for other questions, if there are any.
Okay, we don't actually have to wait too long. There are questions already. First is, someone is asking, do we have limit of time bar on the qualifications to be used as prerequisite to enroll for the program? And I believe what the person is asking is speaking about the previous model that had 5 years.
No. The answer is that no. For colleagues, to put the context of the question there is, in the previous MPAC, if you had qualified more than 5 years ago, you had to go through a MOOC course. That now doesn't apply anymore. You can have qualified 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and still just be accepted onto the program. Yeah.
You just nearly. You just need to be still in good standing with your profession. That's all.
Not have been arrested.
Alan, I didn't hear you say 30 years. You stopped at 20. Because the accountant general is more than 20, actually.
Yeah, the accountant general.
And is quite interested.
And is interested in the program.
We can let the accountant general in without doing a MOOC.
So I think we'll take these as the last question before we move to something else, and then we can come back to more questions. And speaking, this person is still inquiring about the data science. So this is for Doctor. It says, is the structure of the data science program the same as that of the MSc Professional Accountancy program? Or would you get back to us about this as well?
No. The structure is not the same. There's no already 120 credits going to be accredited. You're going to be having nothing less than 12 modules in this. This is not going to be 3 module or 4 module is going to be about 12 modules that you are going to be having on this. We will communicate. We can be very clear about the date and the timeline. You will get all necessary communication on these before the end of next month. Okay.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So I think for now that's all online, except if there are any other questions here. But if there are none, then I think we just move very quickly.
Okay.
Thank
you.
I can see there's something. 12 models. Okay. So I think Mohammed is really interested in the data science, and would reach out to Mohammed after the session. So I think at this point, I'd say thank you so much, Professor Lindsay, and Professor Lindsay, I beg your pardon, and Alan, and Dr. Oloyeye, as well as Mr. Tom Isibo. We can't wait to call you a doctor as well, or a professor. Great. So yeah, at this point we just move. We have one of our alumni. She just recently completed the program in-house, and she's just going to come and share a bit about her journey and how the TNSS advantage, and how this has actually helped her career. I mean, by the way, she completed, she did fantastically well, and we have decided to onboard her as one of the tutoring team as well. So that's to tell you what you stand to gain, other benefits you stand to gain if you get distinction. So
very important to also mention that all our faculty members are actually alumni of UOL. All the faculty members, the team lead, and all the people that will be taking you on this MPAC are all alumni of University of London. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So over to you, Muji. Sorry, admin, could you kindly, I can get that there's a feedback from Olajide. Could you kindly mute? Okay, great. Has it been done? I can still get that. I still got that feedback now from the Accountant General. Okay. Sorry, could you kindly confirm, our audience online, could you kindly confirm if the noise has been taken care of so we can continue? I guess that's been done. So Moji Olorunfemi, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Mojisola Olorunfemi, and really, I don't know what else to say because Professor Lindsay and Professor Elan, they've said everything, to be honest. The program was very interesting. And I just finished this last month, June. Very interesting. So I'm one of the latest alumni, so very fresh from it. And I'm not sure I've fully recovered, Interesting. And I remember when I wanted to start, I reached out to Dr. Oloyeye and was like, Muji, do you have a family? Do you have children? Do you have this? And why not just do the parts, because there are 2 pathways, the part 1 and the part 2. The part 2 is the one that you use 12 months, so you can divide the modules. But I said, no, I want to have it in 6 months because I have other things I'm dealing with. Let me, so I signed up for the 6 months part. Man. Wow, rigorous, very rigorous. But one thing is, it helped me to build some additional skills and to also fully, understood myself that, I have some skills that, that are inside of me that I've not fully harnessed prior to the program. So I built my resilience, it was back to back. As you are finishing one coursework, I'll just, let me rest a little, and another one has shown face again. And you have to do it. There is no excuse. This University of London,
they don't compromise. It's not like, I'm not trying to downgrade the level that we have here in Nigeria, but they don't compromise. If they tell you that the submission is 1 p.m. Nigerian time, London time, it is 1 p.m. They don't put 1 minute on it, like 101, no. By the time you get there, that's 1 p.m., you cannot access that link again. It's gone off, and that is it. They are so disciplined. So you have to help yourself, the time management, everything. You just have to, to come up to speed and ensure that you do well. And, now, you don't want to tell your children that, oh, I have a carryover. Carryover that what? So you have to, I'm up at night, there were times that, from morning till night, like from when I wake up in the morning, like there is no sleep at all through. Like in the midnight, I'm up. My child will ask me, "Is here, Mommy? Don't you sleep at all?" I don't sleep because I have something that I need to achieve. So back to my point, the program is worth it. It's worth every penny that that I spent on it, and I can proudly say that rather. That was also made possible by the assistants, because I know Professor Lindsay very well. I didn't even know that she's a prof, because everybody would just say, it's Lindsay, Everybody, in my set, we all know that name. And apart from that, like what they rightly said, the program gives you that global connection. I have this WhatsApp group that you have people from all over the world, we chat, we talk, we discuss on so many things. They share their own experience and all. So that's one very good thing. You have a global village that you can easily go back to and say, oh, I'm doing this coursework. What do you guys think? Where are you? And, they also motivate you to do better, because you see people that, very intelligent. When they break things down, then you try, you also try to, to measure up that, oh, I need to do well as well. So, Lindsay was always there. The Icarus activities that she described was very excellent for me. I'm a middle manager in my company, but when I assumed that role, I think when the Icarus activity came, I was made the CEO in my group and all that. So you just have to rise up to the occasion that, oh, I'm a CEO. Then you have to act it. So I started calling people that I'm an incoming C-class executive. So and that was what I was doing, and that was what we did. So it helped me in so many things, in decision making, conflict management, because you see people, yes, we're trying to achieve a particular goal, which is the same goal. Everybody, the KPIs are the same. But you see people, the CFO will tell you that, no, CEO, that's not what we are going to do. The operations director will tell you that, no, that's not. But, you just have to manage it and ensure that everybody at the end of the day, we are all, on the same page, and we have the same goal that we are pursuing. So that's one very fantastic thing. Conflict management, conflict resolution as well. Your decision making, it was fantastic for me, very fantastic. And to cap it all, the support from TNSS, we need that support. I have a friend that is that came back to TNSS. The guy, enrolled directly to University of London, and at some point he said, no, it's like, because now you're not. It's not like the Lindsay I'm seeing now. I wasn't seeing Lindsay physically. It was online. Everything. Lindsay will send you email. We respond to everything online. It's like a robotic system. But, when you have a mentor that you can easily talk to, the mentors from TNSS were fantastic. Fumilade, Grace, you can call them at any time. You can chat them up at in fact, middle of the night, and you will be very sure, that they will respond to you and put you through whatever. So that really gave me, it gave me the kind of support I needed when I first started. My first coursework, when we started, and I think it was Grace that put us through. This is what you need to do and all that. And if I didn't have Grace, or if we didn't have nobody to actually put us through, because I could see a lot of comment from from there. Oh, what do we do and all that? So they assisted you. They tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. Put your work like this. They don't look at your work. They don't see it. They just guide you. This is what you, because they told us right, at the start. But that was really very helpful. For me to have distinction with the loads of work and everything that I have from the office and even family. But it can be overwhelming. but it was overwhelming at some point, mostly when I was writing my project. But do I want to fail? No. So I had to, get back on track, and I ensured that, I did everything right. So thank you to Lindsay and thank you so much to TNSS for the support. So please, I would encourage you. The program is fantastic. I enjoyed it. It helped me. My office now, like before when they're having meetings, of course, I go for some top-level meetings, and I'll just be there. I won't really say anything. But now I'm so bold to make comments at meetings because I know that I'm talking sense and I'm saying something, and people say, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you so. Thank you so much, Moji Sola. I call her my sister, and thank you you pointed out something that Grace made it possible. So thank Grace for giving you the grace to do this.
For the faculty is actually called Grace Oloyede.
So another person who's going to quickly join. She's virtual. She's currently in Toronto, I believe. She just completed the session. Oyinda Mola Osho. So admin, kindly give a voice. Oyinda Mola Osho, by the way, started her career. She had a fantastic resume. We're usually proud of, introducing Oyinda Mola Osho. She graduated from high school and enrolled with the ACC, enrolled with us, to start our ACCA journey. And by the age of 18, or by the age of 17, she had the BSc Oxford Brookes University. And then by the age of 18, she became an ACCA affiliate. And then by age 19, she enrolled for the University of London. She's going to be 20 in a few months' time, I believe. And she already has the master's. She just completed the master's in June. And she's also joining. She had 2 distinctions, by the way. And she's joining the tutoring faculty. So Oyinda Mola Osho has gone to Canada now to, still study again, She's an FEWA. So Oyinda Mola Osho, can you confirm you can hear us by speaking?
Hello everyone, thank you, Dayo. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Oyinda Mola.
Okay, thank you, Dayo. I've been exposed. Yeah, my name is everyone. My name is Oyinda Mola. Like Dayo said, I high school, then I went straight into ACCA. After I qualified, then got my BSc in the Oxford Brookes University, then immediately started the MSc in accountancy January 2022 to June 2022. So I did the 6-month program. I wasn't working, but like Moji said, it was really hectic. It was tedious. I wasn't working. I didn't have a family. I didn't have children, but the workload was a what? Was Sorry, I was muted for a second. As I was saying, the program is really rich. It is loaded. Like Moji said, you will gain a lot. When I started the research paper, I was like, I didn't work. I don't work. I don't have the experience. Why would I be able to do this program? But as I started with the help from the TNS lecturers, with Grace, Fumilade, their season support, their 24 hours support, I was able to. I got like the way Daya said, I got 2 distinctions in the coursework. It's a really good program. Skills you think that you don't have, it awakens skills you think that you didn't have. Your research skills, you have to be self-disciplined, time management. A lot has to be put in doing this program. And also with the TNSS lecturers, they give you 24 hours support. They are easily accessible. And they are also alumni from this program. So they already have the hands-on experience on the program. So they will give you the guidance on what you're expected to do, what the examiner wants, what is really expected in the research paper, which makes the guidance effective. Guidance from TNSS, from Grace, from Kumilade was superb. It was wonderful. I thought I couldn't do it, but the, the close and guidance, you could reach them anytime through a text or a call. They were wonderful. So honestly, I could tell you that you are in the right place because from what Modi said, Lindsay is there, but she just generally responds to people from the student portal, but there isn't this close interaction with your mentors. It's always nice to have a close interaction with your mentor to properly guide you through the process because it might be the first time you're doing it and things like that, and you are not really sure on how to proceed. But the close interaction with your mentors, it really helped us. It really helped me in my coursework, and I was able to get a distinction. So honestly, I can tell you that you are in the right place. TNSS, the lecturers are best suited for this. And honestly, you won't just finish with a merit or a pass. You are sure to get a distinction. So I can see that you are in the right place. I really want to thank Mr. Olushola, Grace, Fumilade, and for their support and everything. It was really a nice program and it was really insightful and interesting. And it unlocked a lot of skills and capabilities in me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oyinda Mola. Thank you for that. I mean, one of the things you get if you're a CEO and you're not a program director, she thanked everybody, but she didn't mention my name. I'm not angry. So yeah.
Thank you also.
All right. Thank you so much, Oyinda Mola, and all the best in your studies in Canada. We know that you keep doing us proud. Very quickly, just for one more minute or two, we have Fumilade on the call. The Fumilade that has been mentioned severally. She's a tutor. She's one of the tutors for this program. And Fumilade, can you confirm you can hear us by speaking within 2 minutes?
Yeah, I
Great.
can.
Oh, we can see. So can you project a image as well, a video? All right, go ahead, Fumilade.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak, and thank you, TNSS. And so, like everyone had said, this program is actually one of the best program I've actually gone through. And thanks to my ACCA qualifications that actually brought me to know about this qualification. I remember that I have always wanted a foreign education apart from my BSc, and going for an ACCA was one of the things that I said, okay, yes, I want a foreign education because of the opportunities going to provide to me. So I remember speaking to Mr. Jide Ibironke, Papa Jide Ibironke, and he told me about this program, and I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And it was a very good decision, like coming. And then we were fortunate to be the first set because it was like, don't worry, TNSS is coming on board with the University of London, and we're going to support you guys all the way. And so I said, okay, let me join the program, and it was really very stressless. The payment of fee and everything, Mr. Olushola was just on point. It just, like made it very comfortable. Like I didn't have to worry because you know how the troubles you actually have in kind of paying remittance. He actually stepped in it, and I didn't even have to worry about that because I knew that somebody was doing that, so it wasn't a problem for me. And joining, we had Grace. Grace was really fantastic. We were the first set. We're just two of us, that me and TLC, that actually started the program with them, and Gracie was there. She was really fantastic, and like they said, it was a very tough program. It may look very easy. It may look like, oh, 6 months. I actually said I'm gonna do ACCA, University of London, in 6 months. At the point, I was like, girl, it's like you paid to stress yourself, because it was very rigorous. Combining your work, like Lindsay had said, like things will change. I actually had, because I like to plan my things, I like everything to be structured, actually planned how this program was going to turn out, but life actually happened and things will not, work out the way you plan. But the good thing is having like a life support, like having the likes of, Grace to actually put you through. Like, like you can call her any time of the day and she's definitely there to, to support you. And those things actually, built my resilience, because if you can actually go through a program within 6 months, an academic program, trust me, you are going to build those skills that, like Oyinda Amola said, I didn't know that actually exist, within you. And apart from that, there are a lot of skills you learn, your critical thinking skills. Yes, it's going to really, come up straight. And the fact that you're also exposed to a global network, you're exposed to like a lot of people, you're exposed to like people from all over the world. That's one of the things I actually enjoyed from the University of London. I was able to connect with vast number of people. It was actually amazing, like seeing a lot, many of them when I went for the graduation ceremony in July, and like finally putting a face to the people that you've been speaking with for the past, 2 years, 3 years, because we're actually like 2019 batch, and finally, getting to see them, sharing our experiences, like because you have like a wider platform apart from the TNS platform where you can be able to like connect with more people around the globe. And it was really amazing trying to connect to them. And these relationships are not relationships that actually, last for the moment you're studying, but the relationships that actually translate into the future. People that helped you are like these. I know what I'm talking about. I've built a lot of relationships with them in terms of people that can even help you to get placement in jobs when you move. Like when I moved also back into the UK, like people you're able to see and connect. I met some people during the graduations year, and they are also in the UK, and we're connecting, we like staying together right now. So that's the kind of platform it gives to you. And also, coming on board to be a tutor, learning from Gracie, learning the rigorous and being able to impact in people's life. It's one of the things I actually enjoyed, because despite the fact that I know I've gone through the program and the fact that I'm also working with new students, I keep improving myself, I keep learning more, trying to understand the student, and also trying to like prepare them in a path that they will not be able to make the mistakes that I made while I was a student, and helping them to even become a stronger person than me. So, and that's one of the things I like about it, the fact that I can really connect with them. Even some of these students at the end of the day, they become your friends, you build a good relationship with them. And I think that it's difficult to actually find that kind of relationship elsewhere, because I'm running a program also in the UK, and trust me, the kind of relationship I actually had and the kind of opportunity that you had, you may not find it elsewhere, even if you study elsewhere. So it's really a good leverage ground. It's an important ground. If you take up this opportunity, I'm telling you, you're never going to regret it. You're going to enjoy the journey, irrespective of the you will say the hard times you can find. But we as the tutor, our place is to help you to like ease the journey for you. Like no matter what we're going through, we'll listen to you. We have students come to tell us about the personal experience, and we advise them that, and look at the situations that they are in, and provide them with valuable experience to tell them like, yes, you can do this based on what you've told me. This is the help we can provide to see that you complete it. And when we see that, okay, yes, based on the circumstances you have, because we want you to really come out strong and pass and not have a fail. We think you cannot go ahead. We need extra support, and we need to tell them to the TNSS leadership to say, what support can you do? And that's one of the things that having a tuition center, like having like TNSS provide to you. Like if you're studying individually, TNSS is able to kind of bridge the gap to reach out to the OULT faster than when you do not have that kind of intermediary in between. So that's one of the benefits of coming into place with TNSS. So it's really big good, the fact that you're going to enhance your academic and research skills. I get to know about writing skills like Mendeley when I started this University of London, and it's really good. Like, you know, how you can be able to write good academic research writing skills, and it's good also in your place of work. You know, like those are one of the skills I actually built. And when I started even working in the UK here, some of the things like, you know, the careers activities, like you said, I took up a position, and the fact that I was able to have some of those experience and, you know, put it in place like practically where I was working is really good. So I think you're gonna enjoy the program. Is going to be one of the best decisions you have actually made. And thank you to the OTNSS team. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Grace, and thank you for all the students that we've had the opportunity to, you know, mentor along the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olufumilade. That was great. So everyone has been talking about grace, 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 and I want to believe that just like I'm curious, I don't know Grace, right? Just like I'm curious, knowing who this Grace is, I believe quite a number of people want to know who exactly is this Grace, and how can she give me the grace to also become one of the success story of TNSS. So, Grace, I see you on the call. Could you kindly, I'd like to kindly apologize to guests both on-site and online for the time fast spent. A promise that will be done within 10 minutes. So Grace, if you could just quickly say something to people within the next 2 minutes, and let's hear from you. Let's know you, right? Please confirm you
Yeah,
can.
good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Live and direct.
Okay, so my name is Grace, as everyone has been mentioning Grace. And thanks, TNSS, for this opportunity to just speak for like 1 or 2 minutes. I think from my own experience, when I started University of London program, there was no tuition center then when I did my program, and so I had to study on my own. And I remember my experience then trying to study on my own. It was quite tasking. It was quite difficult knowing how the program was structured. And when the opportunity came to, you know, from TNSS to tutor students, I saw it as a great privilege because I'd already gone through the experience of studying on my own, and I wanted to impact this same knowledge on people so that they don't pass through the same stress I actually went through. You know, that was really one of the things that I was really passionate about when it came to this tutoring thing from TNSS. And from what I was able to learn personally from my own experience, that, you know, helped me, that supported me in tutoring students, in mentoring students from TNSS. It has been a great experience meeting with different people from different places, meeting with students, not just in Nigeria. We have students joining from London, students joining from Canada, students joining from different parts of Nigeria. So you really do not have to just be in Lagos to be able to be part of the program. You can be anywhere. We provide the necessary support that you need. We are always there for you. And it's been a wonderful experience tutoring over, I think, 30, 40 students in the past years, and seeing them scale through, succeeding, coming out with distinction, because I came out with a distinction, and I also want to see people come out with that same kind of result. And that's been one of the drive that Funlade and I, we've always had. We've always put in the best in students. I also always make sure that they come out strongly. The program is stressful, I know. It requires so much time from you, I know. But I trust you with TNSS. We try to simplify it for you to ensure that you get the best from it. And I just trust me, with TNSS, you are in safe hands. So we look forward to having all of you in October. Thank you. Over to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you. I can imagine Grace saying that the program is quite stressful, but joining TNSS would simplify things. And despite the simplicity of things, Moji and Oida still acknowledged the stress. So imagine if there was no TNSS in the equation, that's double wala for. You can complete it if you will. So yeah, very quickly, I just want to run us through other things that we do at TNSS, just so you're aware, and then we call it a day. For our guests that are here physically, we have coffee. We apologize, you should have had it as you were coming in, but you can have that on your way out, and I mean, you can come back if you will to use the table. So, sorry, can I have my slides, please? The slides, my slides. I see that quite a number of people putting their emails on the chat box, so I believe my admin team is already, our admin team, they are working on that and they're getting back to you. I can see also, while we wait for the slide, I can see a question. Okay, I think I'll just take my slide, and then we'll come back to the last question and we close. So yeah, TNSS, this is what we do. We call ourselves the Finance Professional Refinery. We do not believe that we're just a training school. We believe that we're raising role models. Oyindamola Osho, Muji, Grace, Formula Day, quite a number of them are good testimonies of what we do. And so we provide top-notch learning and business solutions to individuals. We say that our service offerings is actually broken down into what we call ABC. A for ACCA tuitioning, B for business consulting, and C for corporate training. Corporate training, next slide please. Corporate trainings, part of the corporate trainings that we do, I mean, with data analytics trainings that we do regularly, governance and risk management, strategic business leadership trainings. That's a very high-level executive management training. Anti-money laundering training. Sorry for that spelling. Anti-money laundering training, Microsoft Office training, finance and accounting. You know, those are trainings that we actually do, quite a number of trainings. Again, the ACCA, can you move, next slide please. ACCA also has what we call standalone qualifications, and these qualifications help people who want to get the certificate for the skills, get these skills without necessarily enrolling to becoming an ACCA member. Right, of course, certificate in international financial reporting standards is one of it. That training helps you to deepen your knowledge about the financial reporting standards. So, if you were an accountant, ICANN, ACCA certified, and then you have something maybe like a diploma in international financial reporting standard or the certificate, it helps you to become a better person. So when you're reporting, people know that you are, you are a special breed, right? Certificate in international public sector accounting standards, certificate in internal auditing, public sector, public financial management, I beg your pardon, certificate in data, and these are trainings that we've had. We had some recently for Office of the Accountant General of the Federation on internal auditing, on public financial management, on we had on data analytics with Society for Family Health. We've had certificate for IPSAS for the Lagos State government, certificate for IFRS for Financial Reporting Council, and quite a number of other, private. It's not just public sector driven, private sector firms. So if you, these are things that we do other than University of London, ACCA. These are all our offerings, and you could, we know there are executives in-house here, so you could reach out to us if you want us to, manage your trainings, and we'll be glad to help you with that. So on this note, I'll just take the very last question. I think you can end this. The very last question, and then we close the day. Someone asked if there's a sort of discount or benefit, of you. If you decide to pay once. So I think I would answer that question. Dr. Shola, may I? So let me use my own power of, everybody has been. So let me use my power. So what I would say is, I hope I don't get. Dr. Shah, are you sure I can go ahead? I hope I don't get. So here is it. Anyone who registers within the next 1 week after this event will get a discount of 200,000 naira off. You know. So if we have 20 people, that's for me. I hope I'm not in business. So yes, so anyone who registers, within the next 1 week and pays in full, actually, will get a 200,000 naira discount off what you've seen on the screen. So, Prof, that's fair enough.
I'll sign up now.
Great. So thank you so much. And on this note, I'd just like to call on Mr. Tommy Seaboy again, just to give us a vote of thanks, and we can call it a day. I was calling him for that. So we'll set you up.
Please, let's give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. Okay, but we're not going to run away from any question. And the question is, I have searched online and I haven't seen school emphasizing on Masters of Professional Accountancy. And I can recall when Alan was answering that question, he was very specific. It depends on the school. So they're not claiming that every school is going to recognize it or every school has embedded it. So if you are applying for a PhD, for an example, in a global university that's not national, I think you should just approach them to see if they recognize this masters, and I'm sure there will be a lot of other ones that do it. That I'm definitely sure about. And then the other part as well is you need to highlight, or if you need support from University of London, I'm sure they will be able to, point you in the right direction. So please, you should come back to them, and if you need support, please do. But I know that in Nigeria, we have gotten involved in a lot of strategic conversations with the national universities, with Bacor, Covenant, and Nile, as he's mentioned. And these were our initiatives because we have relationship in ACCA with these universities. So as we're going along, we're also pulling TNSS along as well. So leverage on that partnership. So, I'm sure there will be global university. I haven't checked it, to be honest, but I'm sure there will definitely be universities across the world that will recognize this. Are we happy? Have we got a lot of... Oh, you have something else to add?
In terms of global recognition for the masters, we've actually given reference to about 3 students already who have actually commenced their PhD program. So what we can do to make it a bit more clearer is reference to those specific schools. But just like Alan mentioned, just talk to us. Let's know what you want to do your PhD in, and then we can assist you in getting the best school to further your education globally, not necessarily if you want to take a national university. Okay? Thank you.
So, if you finish and you want to have a PhD, please it's part of the bonus services that TNSS will provide for you as well, to be sure that you're adequately supported. So, I'm just going to go around the room in random and just check. Have you received or have you gotten enough information? Are you happy at the level of engagement and at the level of interaction? And I'm not going to, this is not an embarrassment, just to be sure that you are happy. And this time around, this time you spend here hasn't been a wasted effort. Bros, I'll start with you. How can I give my mic to a Man U fan first? Can you imagine? I like your bling, Sha. So.
All right. My name is Owolabi Mujideen Abayomi. I came late a little bit, so I really don't have enough information about the program. So I would like to ask a question about the fee and the likes. So that's just it.
Thank you very much. I deliberately picked on you because I know you came late. So I deliberately picked on you because I know you came late, not to embarrass, but please stay behind. That was the point I wanted to make. So Dio, the ushers, please take notes. So please, we'll give you a 15-minute. Okay.
Just one point. Of course, clearly, this is a colleague who has to be registered, possibly at a discount if it's in the next week, because anybody who turns up in a football shirt or soccer shirt, and on the back it's got Modigliani and Miller, M&M on the back, Modigliani and Miller. So there we are. Professional accountants, we all know and love Modigliani and Miller, don't we? Yeah. So M&M. Yeah.
Please just stay on your seats. Immediately after, we will come back to you. And I'll ask you as well.
All right, I also came a little late, but I was able to understand everything and I was able to get that. So thank you.
So we're happy. Yeah, we're very happy. Okay, so I'll also please like to, ask on behalf of TNSS that, the other things they talked about around, the other training that they deliver, are you involved in the data analytics as well? So I'm not talking about data analytics. So TNSS, I'm very loyal to UOL MSc Professional Accountancy. So the other services that TNSS offers, please, it would be great if you can also help us advocate for that, because my salary, part of my salary comes from that as well. That was just a joke, but it would be great to sort of support TNSS as advocates as well in ensuring that, they're able to deliver those trainings in your organization. Lindsay, any last parting word before I close this meeting?
Not anything new, I don't think. I think we're around, so if you do have questions still that you want to ask us, please feel free to do that. I think we're still really excited to be here with you, so take the opportunity to come and say hi, even if you don't have a question. And obviously the team will make sure that any questions that you do have are answered. If not today, we definitely will follow up thereafter. So I think I just want to thank everyone for the warm hospitality and having seen all your faces here, and everyone online as well. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So thank you.
Yeah, and not much to add because Lindsay normally says everything that I would want to say. And then sometimes with things I want to say, she tells me what to say anyway. So, but again, for the warmth and hospitality of TNSS, very much appreciated. First time in Nigeria for both of us. Thank you. We live in a global world. We know that borders, in some respects, they remain, but also they're disappearing. And I just think the more that people around the world can work together and can collaborate together, that just seems, in this ever-challenging and ever-changing world, a really sensible thing to do. So great to be here. Really hope that we can come back, and certainly me come back at some point in the future, and not on quite the flying visit that it is at the moment. And I was talking about our Modigliani and Miller colleague. I noticed you got the Manchester United shirt on. Well, of course, I'm a Tottenham supporter, so maybe we'll have a chat outside afterwards. Yeah. I used to be the exam board chair, so of course you would never pass if you'd worn your Manchester United shirt there. And I think I'm just familiar with watching. I like football, I like soccer, but on TV watching the Eagles. the Nigerian national team, which is ebbed and flowed like the England team as well. But just great to be here. Just meeting. Yeah, actually just on a serious point. One of the really good things about working in a university these days, University of London, UCL, other universities, you get to go to really lovely places. You meet lovely, interesting people, and it's just a great experience every time. And so on a personal basis, I think the more experiences I get like that, the better. So thank you.
One of my best friends actually is Nigerian, and she told me that I need to be taken to eat the following things. Jollof rice, obviously. Obviously, puff. Iba. And obviously egusi soup.
With my British-Irish background. Is that like fish and chips?
Oh, wow. No, Alan, with your Irish background, we know where to take you to. Don't worry. Yeah, we have very good local drinks here. Don't worry. No worries at all. And I can say we have future UOL members here already. Okay, please, round of applause for them. Excellent. Look, it's been a real long, productive time together, and just to say thank you for coming, and then thank you for your engagement as well. We look forward to TNSS looks forward to receiving your applications, and then commence your UOL journey. And I wish everyone a fantastic rest of the day. We have some refreshment. It's actually meant to be a tea break, but we have refreshment out there. Please stay behind and let's still interact and get to know ourselves personally. On that note, I'll say the meeting is closed for the day, and thank you. Have a great day.
You've got you covered on your Eba and Jollof.
Yeah, it's like, she said, you need to eat this. I was like, okay.
So we'll be having dinner later in the evening, but we'll quickly go to TNSS.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first Masters of its kind and is a result of a partnership between two renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for two prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the two qualifications at once.
We're delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to a prestigious master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant master's programme. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete two modules. to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enroll, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support. And depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option, so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.
We are very excited about this master's degree and hope you are too. We look forward to seeing you on the programme.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
My name is Amina Adamu Alkali. I come from Nigeria and I studied MSc in Professional Accountancy. I previously did my ACCA. The University of London gave me exemptions from some of the courses. Studying online gives you the flexibility, but you also have to be disciplined enough to study on your own and do your assignments and finish up everything and meet up with deadlines. The support staff were really, really helpful, and they replied almost immediately, and everything was just quite easy to deal with. Currently, I work as a financial analyst for a construction company. So with this degree, I am hoping I would get a better place, a better position, higher pay, so it just builds up everything for me. I would love to work for an audit firm or one of the big 4 firms, just to push my career further and also do something I love at the same time. Having a University of London certificate is kind of a big deal, so I would do it over again if I had the opportunity.
My name is Etido and I study professional accountancy. I'm from Nigeria, so I studied overseas. So the learning resources was overwhelming. Like, I have not seen such before. I got a lot of assistance from the tutors that was assigned to us. So I think it was quite a nice experience learning through the university. Okay, my favorite subject, which was the project. I actually did a research project on one of the English League teams. I'm actually a football fan, so it was quite nice and interesting researching and seeing how we can increase the attendance in this first league club. So it was quite a nice one. The benefits of studying the course is I could now apply it to my work. All of the strategies and how to go into the market to make more. I'm actually aiming for the managerial level. I'm going for a managerial assessment in 2 months' time. So now I can confidently work in a team, I can share my ideas. So I'm quite excited because I'm moving ahead. I'm applying what I learned here in the university, in my place of work. I think I would recommend for any family person, because I'm a family person. I didn't have to leave my kids to do the program, and then I had a lot of assistance from the tutors. So I just like the easy way of doing things. You know, I don't have to be here to study. I didn't have to leave my work. I would always recommend the university.
For more information on the University of London MSc in Professional Accountancy program at TNSS, kindly visit our website at www.thenewsynergyspecialist.com.
The MSc in Professional Accountancy is the first Masters of its kind and is a result of a partnership between two renowned institutions, the University of London and ACCA. The programme provides you with the opportunity to study for two prestigious and globally recognised qualifications at the same time. This allows you to save time and money as you are effectively gaining the two qualifications at once.
We're delighted to be the first professional accountancy body to be able to deliver this type of programme. Providing global access to our prestigious Master's qualification as part of ACCA's professional qualification will offer our students and members the opportunity to enhance their employability even further.
The UCL School of Management provides the academic direction for the MSc. This is an exciting opportunity for us at UCL to be involved in this academically stimulating and professionally relevant Master's programme. We provide the learning content for the modules you study, drawing upon our knowledge, expertise and experience. The learning content looks at practical challenges, identifying and applying ideas and models as responses and solutions. The activities provide you with opportunities to analyse and critique those ideas and models, enabling you to come away from the programme with managerial insights and perception, in addition to academic skills.
Through our strong global relationships, we know that employers place a high value on finance leaders having both a professional and a master's qualification. We also know ACCA's flexibility and portability are big factors for students. Through our partnership with the University of London, we have now increased that access and flexibility.
If you are already an ACCA member or affiliate, you can get recognition for your professional level, and then you need to complete 2 modules to gain the master's degree.
Whichever pathway you follow, there is flexibility in your mode of study. You have a choice of web-based or institution support, and you can choose how you manage your workload and thus the length of time taken to complete your studies. When you enrol, you will receive comprehensive and interactive resources. These include all the material you need to study, so there's no need to buy any more textbooks. Access to an online virtual learning environment with videos, quizzes, and the opportunity to network with your peers. The web-supported option provides a student relationship manager and online tutor support, and depending upon where you are in the world, you can choose the institution-supported option so you will receive face-to-face interaction with local tutors.
When you complete the MSc, you will receive your degree from the University of London. You will also become a member of the University of London Global Alumni Community and will be invited to become an ACCA affiliate and, on completing the required professional experience, an ACCA member.